In relation to the situation that unfolded at National Assembly now,
yes,
you've said what is well known now, that of course APC senators were not seen
they
at
were
the
not
complex.
at all. Anybody, I want to be controverted by anybody who saw an APC senator or House of Reps member at the premises to come up with the photograph. But your people were there; they should be able to have informed.
Senator, please let me just land my question.
Right.
We understand that there was an APC caucus meeting that was being
which
held
is
in Asokoro, is my understanding. Sorry, Aso Drive, rather. Aso Drive, yes. And the allegation being made against the APC senators is that that caucus meeting that was being held was in conjunction with the purported lockdown of the, not even purported, the lockdown of the National Assembly.
I spoke to some of the senators yesterday. I wanted to know exactly what that meeting was about. They are concerned and worried that the president presented a budget for the Electoral Commission for the elections coming up early next year. And as soon as the budget was presented, the Senate president ordered, the adjournment. And they were concerned, what do we do? If we continue this way, there will be no election next year. And if the president now comes out next year, February, and said, because procurement, was done late, therefore we are going to adjourn or postpone election. All of you will shout, oh, the man is trying to elongate his stay. Now they are concerned about that. Because when you are procuring for election, it's not something you do in 1 or 2 months.
You're digressing,
so those were the kind of things they were discussing. I said that was the main topic they went to discuss yesterday.
It is interesting that you go down that route about the reason why senators were meeting yesterday. Let us recall that just a day before that, we had heard from the Senate leader, Ahmed Lawan, who had, asked and urged the National Assembly to reconvene.
Of course.
We had heard from the special advisor to the president on National Assembly matters, Senator Ita Enang, who was also assuring members that there will be no attempt to impeach the Senate president. In fact, there is no such plot. Now, just a moment, sir. And then on the same day, we also hear from the Senate president himself, who says he would like to meet with the leadership of the National Assembly. In fact, the meeting was scheduled to have, was scheduled to hold yesterday at about midday or thereabout. And then you say that Senate the caucus of the APC or National Assembly caucus of the APC were in a meeting in the morning, trying to show concern on the same morning that other senators had, or other National Assembly members had news. And this was news that had just a moment, sir. This was news that had gone viral about, a blockade of the National Assembly, happening with state authority.
Let me say this. That meeting had been called before the blockade. If you are going to call a leadership meeting of the Senate to discuss issues of importance, each of the caucuses, I was in the Senate myself, we meet. They will call a meeting and discuss what will be our common position at the meeting we are being called to attend.
Do they hold this meeting without the knowledge of the media? Because from what
the media is not supposed to come
to what we know from
it's not a meeting for the media. It's not a press conference.
I understand that, Senator, that media will not be a part of the caucus meeting. But we also know that it is customary for the caucuses to brief the media shortly after the meeting.
After the meeting,
So oftentimes the media is aware that the meeting is going on somewhere.
After that meeting,
and then they will be at the venue of the meeting waiting for a press conference.
After that meeting, and they learned about the drama staged by the PDP caucus at the National Assembly in conjunction with some people from DSS. They felt there is no need. What are you going to bring the press about?
Why didn't they drive the National Assembly
to come and force themselves into the place?
To show some sort of solidarity
Have you seen the statement issued by them?
Just a moment. It is interesting that the acting president issued a statement saying that this is an affront on the rule of law and
the APC has supported that.
Condemning very strongly what had happened. One would have thought that if the National Assembly was the institution that senators and members of the House of Reps would like to protect, one of the things that they would have done to show their joint distaste for this would have been to at least show some presence at the National Assembly.
And then be reported by channels that they have come to invade or to impeach the Senate president.
Invade?
Yes. I'm saying when...
Well, eventually, we did see some lawmakers from
Let me say this. Let me say, where? At the National Assembly?
Oh,
at what time yesterday?
At some point in
At what time yesterday?
We saw Honorable... you didn't see the report?
No, at what time yesterday?
Just a moment. Let me land. Let me tell. At some point, we did see members of the APC, at the National Assembly. We saw Honorable EJ, who came to the National Assembly much later.
At what time?
It's the time...
What
point do you want to make with the timing?
After the acting president has said, look, all these security men to vacate the National Assembly after the DG of DSS has been sacked.
What did they go there to do?
Who?
The members of the APC who showed up.
Of course. At the time they went in there, nobody could have sat at that time. It's past the time that people do sit, that senators do sit. You could want to go to your office and pick something. You could want to go and do your personal business. I'm saying, but let me be clear about this.
Point, yes.
Let me be clear about
Go
this.
ahead.
Whatever it is you say, or whatever it is your opinion, there is no way. In fact, in the rules of the Senate, the minority cannot present the leadership of the Senate. Ultimately, whichever party has a majority in the Senate, we have to provide the leadership for that Senate. So it will be an aberration anywhere, in any parliament, anywhere in the world, for a minority group to present the leadership. It's not done.
Let me tell.
No matter the love anybody has for Sharaki or whatever it is, it will not happen. Yeah.
Let me quickly take your reaction on what the APC, what the senators, what the PDP, especially PDP senators, are saying, that the DG of the DSS is just a fall guy, that this was a failed attempt at a coup, that this is something that happened.
What kind of coup?
And when they found out that it was going
how did they manage to get it to the place?
When they found out it was going awry,
if it was a fall guy,
they decided to sack the DG of the DSS.
If it was a fall guy, and how did they manage? Look, Itainang, the liaison officer to the president of the National Assembly matters, could not even get access into the National Assembly yesterday. How did those members find their way into the place and were even celebrating with whiskey inside the National Assembly yesterday morning?
Senator, are you a stranger to the news? Because I think it's very important to state and chronicle what happened yesterday. At least according to our correspondents who were on the ground yesterday. We understand, I mean, it was early in the morning. National Assembly lawmakers were prevented from getting into. You're aware of that, aren't you?
How did they get?
Just a moment. They were prevented from getting into the National Assembly. We also heard that media...
supported by you.
Of course. Yes. Journalists had been prevented from entering as well. Journalists couldn't gain access. Some journalists who tried to film the situation had their phones seized. We also understand that members of staff of the National Assembly were prevented from entering the National Assembly. Now, after a lot of protest and a lot of back and forth, much later, at about 8:30 or thereabout, these lawmakers were allowed entrance. Just a moment.
Don't lose.
Can I quickly land on this?
Okay, please do.
They were allowed to enter. They were not allowed to go in with their vehicles. They were allowed to enter the premises of the National Assembly. They were allowed to walk into the foyer of the National Assembly. The PDP members who had gathered in front of the National Assembly. But journalists were still prevented from entering the National Assembly. So also were members of staff. So the National Assembly remained locked. They couldn't get any access to the chambers. They couldn't get any access to their offices. So, are you aware of that? Did your investigation reveal any of that?
I'm saying with all sense of responsibility that what happened yesterday, and I want to be corrected, was scripted.
By who?
By the PDP. I'm telling you. By the PDP.
Are you alleging that the DSS was working in conjunction with the PDP?
You are going to get to hear more about this. I'm not prepared to tell you this categorically this morning, but you're going to get to hear more about this.
It is important that we hear from you.
There is a lot of complicity. There is a lot of complicity.
Yes.
I know, and I want to tell you this morning, that quite a number of these things that you see happen, could just be the handiwork of 50 columnists, a John provocative kind of thing.
Do you think that was a DSS DG, the John provocative?
Well, when you will have an opportunity to bring him on this program, you need to put all of these things to him. How did it happen that you say you were sealing up the National Assembly, yet all of the members of PDP people who were there in the morning found their way into the premises?
Senator,
yes.
One of the I want to be very clear about what the allegations actually are.
Right. Against
the APC caucus in the Senate.
Yes.
Now, I want you to allow me to land. Right. When they say that there is a conversation around Section 50, subsection 2, paragraph C, which dictates how the leadership of the National Assembly will emerge.
That's my question.
The issues have been around whether or not, when they say two-thirds of whichever chamber is required, some people have said that they're trying to make the argument that it's actually 2/3 of the quorum that would come in. Now that is where the APC caucus comes in, because the allegation is that the DSS was working in conjunction with the APC as a party to allow them in to form a quorum and to establish new leadership based on that understanding.
It's not true. It's not true.
You say that categorically.
It's not true. I'm saying, let's look at it this way. people who are not even anywhere near the premises, you are alleging that they were trying to do some things. Those who were there, you are not alleging anything against them. It's like that for me is not fair. But talking about who, I mean, the mode of electing a leader in the Senate, the law is very clear. The law is, first of all, in the rules, it's only a majority party, those who have the largest number of people in the National Assembly that can elect a leader, a president of the Senate. You cannot have people with majority, having the president of the Senate.
But this is
now in this case. Now you are now saying whether it is those present and voting or the entire.
Exactly. Yes.
Please, I want you to go back to the records. When Sharaki was elected president of the Senate, how many senators were there? Were they 96? Were they 70? Were they 60? Many of the senators were at the ICC on that day, waiting to meet with the president. And the few of them who were there quickly elected him, and he was quickly sworn in. So what I'm saying is that the law says, 2/3 of men present and sitting.
Can we read that part?
Present and sitting.
Yes, yes.
Can we read?
Please go ahead.
Read the part of the, because what we understand is it has to be 2/3 of the
not
entirety.
Entire members. No.
Is
That's not what is in the Constitution. That's not what is. I read that this morning. That's not what is in the Constitution. Then I want to say, I want to ask you, do you agree with me the procedure used in electing Sharaki as president of the Senate at that time? Because you were here then and you were very active. I know that you can recall what happened on that day to know that those who were sitting on that day were not 96.
We'll continue.
Distinguished, we have to take a break.
Right, thank you.
When we come back, we'll continue this discussion. Please stay with us.